redefine holiday traditions and what they mean to you. Holidays doesn't have to mean forced family gatherings, being around people that you don't like, people that don't like you, people who don't align with you morally. Like you can create your own rituals and your own traditions that honor peace, joy, authenticity, and really just, everything that you embody and everything that you stand for. I think oftentimes we feel like we have to attend family gatherings because it's family. And I'm here to tell you and remind you that that is far from the truth. Like at the end of the day, you got to protect yourself. And you don't need permission to protect your energy. And if that means not going around being around toxic family members who are going to talk about your weight when you show up, talk about why you ain't married, and talk about all your mistakes from 10, 20, 30 years ago, who are just negative. They can't hold their liquor. So, when people get drunk, they start to just say whatever and do whatever. You don't have to be around that. Like, it's not selfish to step back. It's really self preservation because nobody, after the holiday is done, nobody gonna be there to take care of you and look out for you like you. Like, boundaries are a gift that you give yourself. Just like you have to get rid of toxicity, especially around the holidays, because it's very vulnerable for a lot of people. People are sad, people are depressed, people are going through all the emotions and all of the feels because of said holidays. Like, and you have to remember that just because it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, like harmful dynamics don't just magically disappear in November and December. Those people don't change the way they think and the way they act just because it's the holidays. They are who they are. In the same family that's ignorant, self-hating, racist, toxic in January, it's the same family that has all of those qualities and are the same people in November and December. Like, it's okay to be alone. It's okay to spend that time alone. If that means you got to go buy maybe you don't have a traditional Thanksgiving meal. Maybe you just buy what you want to eat. And instead of indulging around a table with people who are not like minded, people who don't, think that a livable wage is a human right, housing, water, and healthcare is a human right. Maybe you just go to the store and get your own goodies, the stuff that you enjoy, and you just binge and eat that for the holidays. Like, you have to choose distance sometimes because it's the healthier option. And like choosing distance is choosing health. You protecting your mental health, you protecting your emotional health. That way you're not in front of people and you have to try to self-regulate and calm yourself down because people being ignorant. Cause you got the creepy uncle, you hear me? The creepy auntie who feeling and touching on you are saying very inappropriate things to you. Like, it's okay to stay away from people for the holidays. And that includes friends too. It's not just family, but we talking about friends. Like, you are not obligated. There's nothing written down anywhere that says, oh, you have to spend Thanksgiving and Christmas with family. That myth of obligation is non-existent. And you have to acknowledge that and tell yourself and not hold yourself to that standard. They're gonna try to guilt trip you, and some of them gonna try to make you feel bad about it. But I'm here to tell you that you don't owe nobody nothing. Let them talk. Even if your family's not that bad and they're okay. Maybe you just don't want to be around people. Maybe the holiday is just something you're not with this year. It's okay to stay away. And again, don't let them make you feel bad. Don't let them try to guilt trip you into joining. Because some are going to say you think you're better than them and stuff like that. And in most cases, you probably are. But don't let them hold that over your head. Like, family doesn't equal automatic access to you. And I think sometimes we forget that. We forget that just because they're family. They don't have to have access to you at no time of the year, especially not around holidays. Because that's when most families feel like, oh, well, it doesn't matter what happened throughout the year. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. We should all come together during the holidays. And that is false. That is a ridiculous way to think. Take care of you. And if that troubled cousin or relative is going to show up to the holiday and the family know that relative has been troubled and has caused you harm and pain in any capacity over the years, and they tell you, oh, well, we just gonna make sure they don't bother you, or you should just come, instead of telling that family member that's the problem not to show up, then you have every right to stay away. You don't have to be around that at all, because obligation is not the same as love. And if they love you the way they say they love you, then the problem relatives, the problem family members wouldn't be invited to the family gatherings, to the Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners. But instead, they protect those people and they make it to a point where it's like they don't have to not come around just because they did something. And I disagree with that. I feel like if a family member has caused harm to somebody else in their family, no matter how long it has been, how much time has passed, I think they shouldn't be invited to the family gatherings. That's just my opinion. So you're allowed to not go, or you're allowed to go spend Thanksgiving with another family that may not be yours by blood. Maybe your friend or your significant other family is better dynamic. They're caring, they're gentle, and you feel safe in those environments. Maybe you go spend Thanksgiving with them, Christmas dinner with them, if the offer is there. But regardless, like, you are allowed to, like, not participate in the holidays at all. Maybe you just want to use that time to gather yourself, be alone, and take a deep breath, woosah, watch some TV. You hear me? Nap, things like that. It's okay. Like, you can choose. You can't choose your blood family, but you can choose family. You can choose who you consider family, and that can be friends, partners, coworkers, people in your community, your neighborhood. Like, that can be your family for the holiday. That goes back to, like, what I just said. Like, connection is something that you get to pick and choose. Nobody can choose it for you. You know what I mean? So, like, keep that in mind. Like, growth often happens in solitude. So it's cool to just be alone, because it's hard to grow in crowded rooms. And a lot of times when we surround ourselves around that toxic energy, those toxic relatives and toxic family members, it takes us back to a place that we've worked so hard to get from. It takes us back to those thoughts and those emotions that we've worked hard over the years to overcome, just to put yourself right back in that situation. And that's not to say, like, you won't ever be in that situation, but you can choose whether or not you put yourself in a situation. And maybe the holiday isn't the time that you want to have to deal with that. Maybe you don't want to have to relive those emotions and negative thoughts by going around people who are negative and toxic. Like, there's silent growth over forced togetherness. You don't have to be around them people just because they family. Just because they raised you and they put you through school and they gave you everything. It's okay. Don't let them make you feel bad. Put your phone on silence. Do not disturb, whatever it is. Like, you got to protect you. And discipline and peace are more valuable than appearances, than showing up just to say, hey, or hey, I'm just here to show my face. It's okay. There's no obligation to sit around with family. You can go. Some restaurants are even open on the holidays, and you can go and sit down and have a quick little dinner if that's something you want to choose. Just get you some takeout or something. Like, just don't feel forced to go and be around people, especially around people that you don't like, or people that don't like you. Because a lot of times you know what you get into when you're dealing with certain families and certain relatives. You know they're gonna come in making these sly remarks about the degrees you decide to major in, the school you decide to go to, the job that you have, the your spouse, and they're just being weird. And you don't want that. You don't want to have to put yourself in that situation to be uncomfortable because in my opinion the holiday should be a time of peace and happiness, love and joy. And if anything comes against that, then what's the purpose? If the people you're going to celebrate literally go against the grain of peace, love, joy and happiness, why be around them? Why go? You're not obligated to buy Christmas gifts for people. Relieve yourself of that pressure and that obligation. People feel like, oh, it's the holiday season, I gotta buy gifts for people. And for a lot of people, they don't have the finances to buy gifts. And for others, they just don't want to, and both are okay. And even if you do have the means to do it, maybe you don't want to just be buying random gifts for family members, because your aunt gave you $100 6 years ago. Like you're not obligated to do that. If there's not an agreement made amongst the parties involved saying like, hey, let's exchange gifts, I don't think that it's necessary just to randomly buy family members and loved ones gifts. It's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. Children are different. But as far as adults are concerned, I don't think you should hold yourself to that type of accountability of trying to buy gifts for 5+ adults. I don't care if it's a $2 candle. Let's be real. It's not that big of a deal. Now, if you're a gift giver and that's what you love, then so be it. Do your thing. But I'm talking about those who aren't really that spirited and don't really want to do it, but are doing it because they feel like they're obligated. You have to set yourself up to become so legendary in authentic living that it's going to offend some people. It's going to cost you some family members. It's going to cost you people saying that you stuck up or you don't come around. That's part of it. Because your holiday choices reflect your values. And as far as I'm concerned, on a political spectrum, people who say that they hate, racism, and they hate how a certain party on the right has been handling people in this country on the left and how they've treated immigrants and so forth and so on. If you believe in human rights and you go and sit down with family members who oppose those rights, who are racist, who are bigots, you are part of the problem. Because there's no way, I don't care how close of a family we are, I don't care if they invite me to the dinners. If my values are different than yours, because I believe people should be treated as basic human beings, and have their needs met by the government that they pay into. If you can look over that for the sake of some turkey and some dressing, then you are part of the problem. Because what good is it you showing up to holiday dinners knowing your family is trifling, knowing your family is racist? Like how do you sit there comfortable and laugh and kiki and ha ha like something's funny, and you think you're doing something by going and, oh, I'm gonna bring this topic up, and you're not changing their mind. They're gonna stand on what they believe in. So you are part of the problem too. And I know some people don't have the guts to cut ties with family members, but sometimes that's necessary for your legacy. Like by honoring yourself, you model freedom for others. So keep that in mind for those who are out there who believe in people and want to see all people do well in life and feel like people should get paid livable wages and things like that. If you're going around family members this holiday season who oppose that, then you too are part of the problem. Then that's really not a deal breaker for you. If you're okay going, sit around, hold hands, and pray to a God that your family will in return like deport, you part of the problem. You praying, giving thanks to God, but yet you don't think that women should have the power of choice. You don't think that teachers should get paid a livable wage. You don't think that houseless and homeless people deserve to have a roof over their head. You don't think children should have free school lunches. Why are you around these people? So keep that in mind this holiday season, man. Like sometimes family ain't family. And that's just that. And it's okay. Protect yourself. Happy holidays. You know, this video will be up by Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to you. And be sure to check out the description for all of the links, the clothing brand and merchfations.com. Make sure you get you some of my book, A Quick Little Word is also linked. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this with somebody who may need to hear this and see this. And until next time, man, it's your boy Chris Wright. Peace, love, and happiness.